UK boxing blogger coming right back at you. Right, just gonna stay to the YTB. I'm gonna start taking my videos a little bit more serious, a little bit more consistency. I've been off the boil a while. Some of my videos are more blog based. I'm gonna start making them more. Well, they're always factual in my belief, not so much subjective, but more factual, subjective beliefs. Um, and I'm gonna discuss and highlight some real issues. I've got a lot of inspiration for the reason why I feel like this way. Some great channels going around. Obviously, well, the ones I've been watching longest, like your 78 blog boxing and stuff like that. And then you've got from over the US, because I was only ever based. But you've got Errol's channel that I've just started watching, quality channel. You've got Beats, who I've been watching for a few months now, quality channel. And it's about time I start trying to fucking up my game a little bit and discuss some real issues sometimes and get on with it. That's the first thing I'm gonna go on about. The other day in a hangout, pay-per-view discussion about what fights are pay-per-view worthy. Me personally, I agree with, in the UK, well, I don't agree with it. Let me just put the record straight that I'd rather not have to pay for anything. We would all rather get everything for free. We'd all rather not get shit for nothing, wouldn't we? If you can get something for £1 instead of 20 quid, we'd all want that, wouldn't we? Right, so we all hate inflation. But anyway, with pay-per-view in the UK, with a pay-per-view card, just for example, BELLEW versus Cleverly 2, if you're going to sell a pay-per-view card solely around that fight, as interesting and as hot that fight is, the anticipation and the hatred and genuine rivalry between the pair wouldn't be enough alone to justify $14.95 for the pay-per-view card. But I personally believe the quality of the undercard is stacked. I personally believe all matchroom cards are pretty much stacked. They wouldn't be for the casual or the American fan who understands boxing and knows all the names I'm going to quote. I'm not going to say that, but they don't enjoy the nurturing process of bringing a young, green, rookie UK fighter that one day the UK fans, I hope, will flourish into something good. So I'll give you examples by that. I'll give you one example. Froch versus Groves 1. I was big into that fight, more than Cleverly BELLEW in a way. I was a bit of a, well, I'll say a bit of a Groves fan, not as much as I am now. But, I respected Groves and I thought it was an interesting fight. Especially the way that they were talking and the build up to it as well. And then with the undercard, mate, I never even thought for 1 second I was even slightly pissed off about having to pay that money for that. I paid that money happily, and I'll give you the examples why. We had Luke Campbell on that card fighting, one of his first fights. I personally have real enjoyment out of that. I wouldn't want to miss that. One of his fights. So when he gets to be a world champion, wherever far he goes, and if he gets the success, I believe he will, Olympic gold medalist, I've watched every one of his fights live. I can say that. Then there was Andy Lee come over to an Eddie Hearn card, a matchroom card. You had Scotty Cardle. I like watching that guy. Jamie McDonald as well. Stephen Smith. Again, another fight on the way to a world title. One of the Smith brothers. I like watching all of their fights. A bit disappointed with Liam Smith not being fighting as much over on Sky anymore. I think he's gone Box Nation. But in a way, Anthony Corolla versus Stephen Foster. Like watching that was Anthony Corolla just on the rise to what he's become now. Look where he is now. You know, I was watching these fights and wouldn't want to miss one of them. Rocky Fielding as well. You know, getting a decent knockout, exciting. And then you had Scott Quigg. I think that was a night he fought for an interim title for the first time. You know, again, I've been watching that guy come up the ranks with Hatton Promotions and then go to Eddie. And then I haven't missed a fight for us for years, you know. And then Cole Froch, Fighting Grows, the greatest fight that I've seen in a while. Whether it was the greatest fight or not, I would have been completely satisfied and happy with that. Of course, I would rather have not paid for it, of course. But I was happy to pay for it, you know, and I cannot understand how anybody can understand how people can be a little bit happy, but how anybody can criticise that. So then if we go into the Bellew cleverly now. You're going to have De Gale versus Paravan. A fight he doesn't need to take. He's already the mandatory challenger. He's putting himself out there. Quality matchup to prove he's worthy of that sport, which I commend James De Gale for. Then you've got Quigg's fight's going to be announced. Hopefully, it's a really good fight. Either way, it's a well-titled fight. You're going to have Anthony Joshua in there. I think he's fighting Sprott maybe. Then you're going to have a whole host of the guys that either mentioned in that thing there, or you're going to have guys like you might have Camacho in there and a decent little cruiserweight matchup. You have Luke Campbell, probably Scotty Calder might do something. Corolla might end up fielding, probably won't, but might do something in that fight. You Etienne probably won't either, but you could have Brian Rose, Ryder, Lee Selby won't, but you know, these are all the kind of names. You might have any of the Cal Yafai, Khalid Yafai, Martin Ward, you could Stephen Smith again could have another tune up, Kevin Mitchell could come out, Lee Purdy could do something. You've got all these fighters I personally enjoy and know about them from when they were with previous promoters, or Tommy Coyle could come. You know, it's just the list goes on and on. You know, so I just don't understand how hardcore British boxing fans, other than having a little moan about it, can't see how justifiable it is in this modern era just to hit up 15 quid for it. Obviously, we'd rather not, but let's put it into comparison. UK fight fans, American fight fans, you know, their pay-per-view. I was speaking to a guy the other day in a hangout, yeah, but I was aware of it, but I asked it again. Their subscription charges are pretty much the same as ours. You know, we pay for the Sky Sports and the BT Sports and the Box Nation subscription, all the Sky and all that, 100 quid. You know, all in HD. Theirs is probably about $120, probably about 20 quid cheaper for the old Showtime, HBO, all in HD and all that, Fox Sports 1 and all that. They might have to pay a little bit more for that, so I didn't ask that question. They want to watch all the MMA as well, like with the BT Sport over here. They're paying top dollar as well, but when their pay-per-view cards come round, even like if I don't know, just for example, you know, like a Cotto Martinez one not on the level of a Mayweather, or just under now would be a Pacquiao one, and then you'd have probably got the Cotto Martinez one, probably the same price as a Pacquiao one, but you know, or they do have ones like the World Heavyweight title fights now, even though I know it was on Fox for free. Might just do a little one for like $40 or saying, you know, saying what ain't got the appeal, but just ain't got the backing of a major network TV station or something. I don't know, but they're getting hit for a lot of money for their pay-per-views, and some of them pay-per-view cards, I know because I stay up all night watching them. I literally fucking fall asleep. Like I'm like that. You know, it's like that. The fucking fights are absolute fucking shit. You know, at least when I'm waiting for Fox Groves, I'm sitting there watching Luke Campbell, Anthony Joshua, fucking the list goes on. I just name the names, I'm not going to do it again. You know, I'm getting full enjoyment. You know, I'm even getting butterflies in some of the fights that I know are a little bit competitive, or, you know, I know shit's going down. And I can say that through every single Matchroom big card, even some of the lesser cards, like up Leeds the other night. To me, that was semi-stacked. To me, you know, it's like every card is stacked like that, because we've got all these young, talented fighters that I enjoy watching, and any real boxing fan should feel the same, you know. I think only over the last couple of years has America really started building into this. Like they're now starting to get Golden Boy, and it's only because of Golden Boy, by the way, that are trying to get their young fighters exposure by getting them into the Mayweather card. You know, back in the day, you might have one or two little fights here and there on undercards and stuff, and there has been over the last 3 or 4 years some decent fights on some Floyd undercards and one or two scattered about, and it's always fall asleep shit. No, not so much in recent times, but in previous times, in all the biggest cards, especially like, oh mate, just some like even staying up and watching De La Hoya Vargas years ago, man, falling asleep. Oh, fuck it, there's just loads and loads and loads of nights. I don't get me wrong, there's been some great nights staying up watching all the fucking cards and all the unknown Mexicans and fucking fighting some club fighter from America, a little 6 rounder that was wicked. I'm like, whoa, that was good. He looks pretty decent. Who's that? Search him up. Just a nobody, but decent competitive fight. You get it. But then, I've seen Adonis Stevenson on some undercards before he was famous. I thought, whoa, he looks alright, and just the list goes on. I can't even go there. I haven't done the research on it, gone through cards and shit like that. But there has been some quality undercards. But more often than not, I've actually fallen asleep and actually dangerously tried to set an alarm and sleep next to the telly just to wake me up nearer to the time, and Bruce Buffers woke me up because I've just completely fucking mistimed it, so on that aspect, I think pay-per-view, when they come in England, are value for money for them reasons. Let me know what you think, guys. UK Boxing Blogger, out.